How's it going, Star Wars fans? We are back with the final confrontation in the Premier to Endor Retro League event. Earlier today, we saw Red 5, Jeff Bauman, defeat Timo Dylan, in a matchup of Throne Room versus Raw Tier Operations with Jeff, Red 5, winning the game with his Throne Room Force Denial deck that he used. So we're about to get started here. Now we have Jeff going to face off against DRTORCH, Paul Feldman, in what will decide the winner of the Premier to Endor League event. Of course, this format has been filled with pretty good variety of decks. This is really the first one that objectives are being used, at least this year. I believe objectives came out in Premier to Special Edition. And so Premier to Endor is the first Retro League event for 2024 where objectives are legal. So, we've seen a lot of decks from Darkside. Let's, Raw Tier Operations, Hunt Down, ISB, Court, are all decks that you see, maybe even operatives, some form of operatives. On light side, we see decks such as Thorn Remains, Prophet is a deck, Mind What You Have Learned, Hidden Base, or also operatives can be a thing too. So curious to see what these players are going to go with. As Paul is the number one, I think so. I was just going to say that. 10 EMF as Paul. DRTORCH is the number one, was the top player in terms of strength of schedule. He will get to pick the side. Jeff was the second seed, I guess, if you will. Dylan was the third. Jeff, again, beat Dylan. And so Jeff facing off against DRTORCH, and Paul will pick the side. So I will edit my text here once we see the game go up. So Jeff does not know what Paul's going to pick, of course. So he has to, oh my god, I'm spelling this wrong. He has to prepare 2 decks just in case, which some could see as a disadvantage. And let's see what they end up going with. What is the pass? What in the past my bedtime is this? This is from Star Wars CCG, if that's what you're asking. We're about to see the finals of a tournament. This is the Retro League tournament. So if you're familiar with other card games like Magic, for example, Magic has formats such as Vintage or Legacy, which use a lot of the older cards. Now, Retro Star Wars CCG is similar in that you used the older formats. However, you don't use the newer formats. Yes, Dylan did lose the match against Red 5, Jeff Bauman. So Jeff advances to play DRTORCH in the finals. So yeah, Retro Star Wars is a little different than other. How do I ban this guy? Ban. Retro Star Wars is a little bit different than, let's say, Retro Magic. Retro Magic, you can use all the sets from the beginning, Alpha until the current set, whereas Retro Star Wars you can use from the beginning Premiere, but only until a specific set, where the newer sets obviously change the game quite a bit. And I myself prefer to play Retro formats almost exclusively. I've played a game or two of Open. I've been thinking about, there's now a new NARP league, so New and Returning Players League, Open, and I'm thinking about maybe getting my feet wet in that. We shall see. But like I said, I do tend to play retro formats. I think there's a lot of people who do the same thing, playing the game as it was back in the 90s, late 1990s. As we see, waiting on DRTORCH to put up the table pretty soon here. Make sure you got no messages. This will be exciting to watch. I myself, I'm in the Retro League. I didn't do that well this format. I went 4-2. Hoping to do a little better in Premier Death Star 2. And then the following last event after Premier Death Star 2 is, of course, Premier Reflections 2 with Watch Your Step and Agents of the Black Sun banned. Watch Your Step in particular, I think, when it is legal, becomes so prevalent and almost everyone is playing it for the most part. And so basically the dark side ends up being either decks to completely counter Watch Your Step or beat Watch Your Step, and so it's very format warping, I'll say. Now, Agents of the Black Sun, which some consider the counterpart to Watch Your Step because they both came out, is I say it's a very powerful deck. I wouldn't say it's as prevalent as Watch Your Step. Not as many people will play it or would play it. So DRTORCH picking light side. And I think it's because, even though it is a powerful deck, it's harder to play effectively. You think he's flipping a coin? Playing the mind games? Could be. I mean, yeah, it might be making him sweat. DRTORCH playing light. I wonder if Jeff was expecting it. And Jeff now has to pick his deck kind of on the fly. Presumably he had a choice for both. And let's go ahead and join here. And let's see what these guys are playing. DRTORCH joins. I think Jeff joins. And let's see. Yeah, curious what they're going to do. Ah, we see Court of the Vile Gangster versus Throne Room Mains. Okay. So, Jeff going with Court. A couple ways you can play Court. There is kind of your standard Aliens Court build, which is really what most people might think of when they think Court. You know, Jabba's Palace, Jabba, Bib, all those guys. There is... you could play a Imperial Court deck, which I've seen people play, where they instead just play like Vader and stuff like that. That's kind of a weirder deck. There's you can play a space heavy deck because Court allows you to pull your independent starships, and we see no bargain. So this tells us a lot about what the deck is going to be. Number one, it's likely he's playing little to no Imperials, because now he gets the benefit of Rebels are deployed +2, Revolution is canceled, and his non-unique aliens are forfeit +1. So non-unique aliens could be something like Skrillings with numbers. That's an option. But definitely he's playing a non-Imperial build. And now we see DRTORCH. Standard Throne Room Mains start here. Oh, Gunite. That could be annoying. So Throne Room Mains with the nudge start. You start, of course, the Throne Room, Swamp, and the Farm. You're pulling the nudges. The nudges then cancel the icons on your opponent's side, and you end up getting 5 icons for opponent getting 0. And then likely to play a lot of Twix sites. So Gunite prevents, or at least slows down, the Court deck from playing any one ability greater than 2. So any big aliens, Jabba, etc., are going to be expensive to play. And we see Beggar off the used pile. That's unfortunate. So either Torch is expecting Tatooine, or he runs his own Tatooine locations to run Beggar. And he's also saving 3. That's very interesting. Presumably he looked in his force pile, or he looked in his reserve deck, so he knew it was in his force pile, and he didn't want. And maybe there was a duplicate that he didn't want to draw, or maybe he's saving force to come down. With 10 force next turn, presumably. And so maybe he's coming down with an EPP or 2. And Jeff immediately going with an alien to the audience chamber with only 6 force. Lobel. Ooh, okay. So Lobel basically is protection against neighboring leads. So opponent cannot. So Paul will not be able to neighboring leads over to the same or adjacent site. So because Court can pull Docking Bays, it's not likely to play Imperial Arrest Order, which means it can use Ellis Hellrot, but it's also weak against neighboring leads, and so the low ball gives you a protection against that. And Jeff actually out-activating Torch here, which is somewhat surprising for Throne Room, but again, it's still early in the game. You expect Throne Room will play a lot of those Twix sites and really boost its activation. Of course, he's going to cancel one of the icons here with the nudge and an early tunnel vision. Really interesting that he tunnel visions now. A lot of times you kind of wait to see what is in your force pile to get a very key card. Maybe he knew what those 3 cards were and didn't want to grab it yet. Maybe he pulled up the tunnel vision and knew what was left. Okay. Here we get Luke Skywalker coming down. None Shall Pass. Standard card that gets played by Court. It's another way to protect your aliens here. None Shall Pass and barriers. And we see the sense coming from Throne Room, which gets tentacled. And if Jeff now has a control, he can cancel the sense. And we'll see if he has the control. He does not. Ooh, oh no. So the DRTORCH has numbers protection in here, which is a wise move in this format. But unfortunately, the Destiny 6, while being nice when you get it in battle, ends up working against him with sense. So he gets his Luke Skywalker bounced back to his hand with None Shall Pass, and Lobo is safe. Had that hit though, that could have been devastating, and honestly, it could have been game ending. Yeah, right now Jeff is feeling very lucky about that. All right. And Court, DRTORCH losing from the Court ping now, losing a Ben Kenobi from used pile. So DRTORCH doesn't have a board presence yet. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to get board presence against decks that are alien decks that are running out the audience chamber because of things like None Shall Pass, Imperial Barrier, and so even though you start with these little weak guys, it might, it buys you the time to build up your forces at the audience chamber. And so we see a Monarch loss. So Luke with lightsaber we knew about. Leia, sorry about the mess. Barrier, gift of the mentor. Ben Kenobi, draw their fire. Obi-Wan's lightsaber. So a lot of good characters in Paul's hand here. See a drain of 1. Now Jeff, seeing this, must be thinking, okay, I hope to have a barrier or another None Shall Pass, or his Lobel is in trouble. Of course, he can probably just move over here, which he does wisely, because otherwise I think Lobel is dead if he has nothing. However, now Paul, oh absolutely he's scared. Now Paul can now just come down to the audience chamber, and if he doesn't have another None Shall Pass, now Jeff has to build up his forces to infiltrate the audience chamber. So Ben Kenobi now we knew about with lightsaber. Let's see if he moves over. I'm sure he will. Takes the Court ping. KFC from used pile. This is a really good card. Comes 0, forfeit 5, and able to cancel Battle Destiny, so very good if you're able to track your Destiny and you're each only drawing 1. And DRTORCH drawing up. So we'll see what Jeff does here. Jeff might, I think you got to be scared, because he's stacked with characters right now. Presumably DRTORCH is probably drawing up some more senses. Of course, if Jeff has a control, he can do some tricks with that, but we'll see what happens here. Yo, what's up, man? What's up, Carter? How's it going? We got the finals here of the Premier 2 Indoor Retro League. Jeff Bauman, Red 5 versus DRTORCH, Paul Feldman. Jeff on court looks like Scum Aliens. So Scum and Villainy, you want to really just stack up at the audience chamber with a bunch of aliens, and then you just battle and just retrieve. Of course, he does not occupy now a battleground, so he's taken from his own court ping. 5 of them in every deck. Yeah, I mean, Out of Commission is a pretty good card. It's actually good in this situation against court because court likes to retrieve, right? So if you have no lost pile because it's all been placed out of play, then you can't retrieve it. So still a good card. Even in a deck that's not reliant on a single character like Darth Vader, where Out of Commission can be game-ending just by getting Darth Vader out of play. And of course, being a used Destiny 5 is nice too. So see drain of 2 from DRTORCH. Now curious if he's going to drop now to the audience chamber. You know, if Lightside is able to control the audience chamber, that usually is a good way to play against court. Court wants to be at the audience chamber and sitting on Scum and Villainy and just attack. Ooh, that's an interesting loss, losing Gick off the top. Order to engage. So maybe his plan now is to move over and hopefully trigger order to engage. He can maybe drop an alien, or I'm sorry, another character. He's just going to draw. Interesting. So Monarch lost is played and Gick was lost. And DRTORCH just drawing up to 12. The thing with the aliens though is that they're so small and cheap that you could amass a large amount of power for not much force. So maybe he's a little worried about that. I was thinking maybe he moves over, tries to trigger order to engage. If he has another character too, which we saw that he had Leia. You know, Leia and Luke. Now that's hard to break. And then if he moves Lobel over, then he can move back to the audience chamber. Yeah, I was curious play. Maybe he was worried about 9 force. Maybe. Of course, then he does lose 1 from the court ping the following turn. Alternatively, maybe he has something in hand where he's waiting for, you know, if Jeff comes to the audience chamber at the wrong time, then, and DRTORCH has the right cards, that could be game ending as well. Maybe, and saving the force too, maybe he needed that much force. So, let's see if Jeff deploys here. Okay, deploys to the audience chamber. I gotta believe you move Lobel over now. Resistance, protection from inserts, and big drains. Yeah, I mean maybe, but like he had other characters. You could drop EPP Luke and Obi, move them over. If he barriers Luke, then stay there. If he drops EPP Luke, move him over with Obi. That's very hard to break for a dark side. And then the next turn now you can move over the audience chamber. So he just deploys Boba Fett to not trigger the court ping and then moves him over. So Jeff also being patient here. Let's see. And DRTORCH playing Grimtash lost. So wants to see what he has. So he has Mara Jade Saber, another Monarch, Forlorn with Concussion, Zuckuss and Misshunter, IG-88, Sniper, Boskin Bus, Control. That's relevant. That's good to know. Jodo Cast, None Shall Pass, Cloud Engineering, Galid. Okay, so the Control is definitely relevant here because he's got Sense Grabbed. But Jeff also does have a dangerous amount of characters with Forlorn with Concussion Rifle, and Sniper, IG-88. So the conservative play of not, well, I guess it wouldn't have mattered, but now you don't really want to move Obi over because it's possible that you could just lose him to Sniper. But also Forlom and anything that draws Destiny clears Obi now. So Jeff losing 2, losing Cloud City Engineer from hand and First Strike. Now we see some more Twixes coming from DRTORCH. Draw their fire. So this has got to be a beatdown, I think. If he's playing this, I presume we'll see a beatdown somehow. Or he's just, yeah. And he just draws. Interesting. Interesting play. Maybe he wanted to draw up. He sees the Monarch. Maybe he had a duplicate. Unknown. If he runs multiple draw their fires, you don't want to lose it. It also frees up one card in his hand. Let's see, here we see Monarch lost, so let's see if that is confirmed. Okay, so Luke with Lightsaber, Leia, sorry about the mess, Barrier, Tanith 4, droids, another Hut, Landing Claw, another, don't forget about the droids, Twaska, Neighborins, and Altar. Okay, that's unfortunate, loses 2 of his numbers protection. Yeah, maybe he's just getting this out of his hand just to be able to draw one more card. Now he does have alter, and I think you can alter this. Yeah, I think you can alter that. Now Jeff doesn't have a lot of force left. Jodo cast. Okay, I think he's just going to come over now to the audience chamber. Presumably he sees what's in his hand and thinks now it's finally safe to move over there. Yeah, the Lobo is quite annoying. Oh, he just moves again. That's interesting. So he's just building up, playing very conservatively here, while just taking drains of 2, just to avoid the court ping. So he's deploying a guy, moving him over, and then at some point, I imagine he's just going to move over a big group over to the audience chamber. Now, Torch, of course, does have neighboring leads. I gotta think you just move over to the audience chamber. You know, Lobo's gonna stop any tricks. Oh, he can't. He can't go to the adjacent site. I see. So it's the same site or adjacent site. So Lobo at the dungeon is very annoying. At some point, though, he's gonna want to come down. He's got Leia, Luke, Twaska. But Jeff does have a lot of guys. Okay, we see Luke with lightsaber coming down. Now, if this just keeps going, though, Torch, of course, will win. Jeff's not doing any damage, really, and DRTORCH is doing a drain of 2. And eventually, Jeff's going to need to move over to the audience chamber. Every time he deploys a guy to remove the court, to not get hit by the court ping, it is it is losing a force to the field. So at some point he is going to need to move. Question is, he's probably going to have to do that when he feels safe, and he's not really activating that much. Let's see here. Going back to his hand. So Marjay's lightsaber, Forlom, IG-88. Already has Joe. So Control, he's saving for something. None shall pass. Presumably that's what he's going to saving those two to be used together. Galid, when he finally comes down here. Interesting. Yeah, it's just at this point it's a drain race with Paul winning the drain race currently. Because like I said, Jeff is not really doing any damage. So we'll see what the play is here. Now, of course, DRTORCH did commit Luke and Leia to the field. So we do know that DRTORCH still has Twas Ka and whatever else he might have drawn. Sarlacc. Okay, I haven't seen that really. So we see the Sarlacc coming down. That's crazy. So Sarlacc, each character's kind of hard to kill with tentacles. Defensive 12. And here comes Galid. So I think now he's going to move over. Yeah, defense 12. Pretty hard to kill, I think. But if someone can do it, it's Obi with Saber. And we see random attack on Obi-Wan. I don't think he dies. I think he draws Destiny. And as long as the Destiny is higher than 4 plus his Destiny, and he's 5 plus Destiny, that's 6. Yeah, creature rules are a little confusing. I am still learning them. Ooh, ouch, 0. So I think the way it works is it's going to be 4 plus the Destiny and then 5 plus Destiny, and whatever is higher wins. But the Sarlacc can't die. Yeah. Okay, so he has to draw a 3 or I think Obi's dead here. And he draws a 5. So he lives. Now I think we can attack back and kill the Sarlacc if he draws over 8 with the lightsaber swings. And he moves over. That's very. I think I would have moved. I mean, I guess in this case it prevents. No, you know what I would have done. I don't know. I feel like if he moves over the Lobel, he can't Nabrins over. He can go slowly over. Move over and then move over, but that allows you buys you time to drop Forlom, drop IG-88. You have Sniper, and now you're draining for 2. And then when he moves over, you benefit from the Scum and Villainy swing. So we see the Force drain at 2. I think you got to swing at the Sarlacc here with the hope that you kill it, because the Sarlacc could be very annoying. We don't know if it'll eat something. Not necessarily, because I think on the attack, he can kill it if he attacks it with Obi. Here's Beggar. Is it 5 plus? Maybe, I don't know. I guess it's invincible then. Again, I'm not too familiar with the Sarlacc rules specifically. Yeah, if he can't kill this, then I think you have to move away, because I think it will eventually eat somebody. See Beggar come down. Yeah, the Sarlacc. Wow, yeah, the Sarlacc is very annoying. Okay, yeah, now he just moves over. I think he has to. Now he only has 7 force, Jeff, which means he can only really drop IG-88. He could have like hidden weapons maybe, but I don't think he knows anything where anything is yet in terms of tracking. Maybe he knows where the none shall pass is. Maybe. And DRTORCH drawing up. Saves 1 for barrier, maybe first strike. I gotta think that he's gonna sniper. Is it out of commission? I gotta think he's sniper, you know, Leia. Or maybe you just go for broke and go for Ben. I think you sniper Leia with... Yep, there's the sniper. Go for Leia. And then he'll drop... So he hits. Again, the... it all depends on the weapon swings here, because Luke with lightsaber forfeits for 7, and he doesn't add. Unless he drops a Jabba. So again, this is very hard to break. He knows he has the barrier. Does he have... There's that. Probably here comes barrier. Yep, there's the barrier. And now if he attacks, now he could be... It's all depends on if this hits. If this... But I guess he could play Jabba's through with you and draw multiple destiny. Takes the court ping. So I think you battle here, maybe. I don't know, because I feel like this is so hard to break for... Because let's say he kills... Honestly, I'd maybe try to kill the Lobel. Oh, so 2 battle destiny from... Yep, okay, 1 battle destiny. Of course, DRTORCH has Gift of the Mentor. Yeah, I don't get that. And now he's going to retrieve 2 from that. I think you want to kill Lobel here. You just have to. It's so annoying. Get sniper back. I think Torch here plays Gift of the Mentor, maybe. It all depends if this hits. Ooh, and it does hit. So now we'll see if he draws a 5. Because that could be the game if he draws 5. Yeah, red 5 getting some good swings. Yep, it goes to kill Lobel. I think you go to kill Lobel. And then... there's a 6. I think you swing at Boba Fett, honestly. Because you could clear the site here. So we got a 6 and a 5. So now Torch knows his destinies here. I think it's the 5, the 6, and the barrier something, and the 5. And a 6. And he swung at Galid. Yeah, I mean, I guess it guarantees that someone gets hit. A lot of good destinies here for DRTORCH here. I don't know. He's lost 2, and we just saw 2. So at least 4. And now if he draws a 6, that clears the site. If, oh no! So he loses Obi. Ouch. Yeah, a lot of 5s in that court, this deck. And he draws a 0. Oh man. So he is gonna lose Obi-Wan, or Ben Kenobi and Luke. And we'll see what he has. He does have 12 cards in hand, activating 11. Now he knows where a bunch of cards are. Lobel's gone, so we don't have that. Loses Ben. I gotta think that... I don't think he... I mean, he has None Shall Pass, I guess. He just draws. I think if Torch has the cards, I think you have to come down to the audience chamber now. Of course, there's the None Shall Pass, which is annoying. Oh, but now... Oh, no, he can Neighborns over. That's right. Ben Kenobi Neighborns over. There's the Neighborns. Maybe he knows what this card is. I don't know. A 3. Okay. Now his cards again from the bottom of the reserve deck are 5 something 4 6 5, if I'm doing it correctly. So now Torch is now in a good spot. So he could activate down to Good Destinies. He knows what most of the top half of his deck is. And Jeff does have 4-Alum. We remember he still has 4-Alum, None Shall Pass, Control. Now Jeff's kind of have to figure out something, because now Torch is going to be draining for 2. He can cancel Scum and Villainy at some point. And again, he knows where Good Destinies are. So here's what Jeff does now. He takes the ping. Let's see if he moves over. I think this will attack his own guys, right? So that's scary to go there. Of course, it's also scary to come here. He just draws, so playing the conservative play while he's taking 3 a turn. I guess you have to do that. If you go the other way, then you potentially lose all your guys. And now the threat of neighboring leads is always there. So draws, or activates 11, is going to drain for 2. Maybe cancels... No, he cancels Scum and Villainy. So I think the second card, if I'm doing that right, from the top it's 4 something 5. Just to keep in mind. So this is 2. So this is 4 something 5. Yeah, I stopped paying attention. Broken Concentration getting lost. Barrier getting lost. And definitely Torch right now with the initiative. Now I think you just stack heavy at the audience chamber. Jeff's kind of put himself in a corner here with the Sarlacc. He can't go there. Right? Otherwise the Sarlacc just kills his guys. Alright. And if he moves over, Torch will just swing at him with Draw Their Fire. So curious. It'll be interesting to see what Jeff does. He can't, if he deploys to the audience chamber, he could get barriered, which triggers orders to engage and just triggers a beatdown. I think, doesn't this guy just die from the random attack? I think this guy just dies. And he it costs 2 more force. That's interesting. Why? Oh, Gunite. He might have not realized that. I think he just dies. Oh. So that, I think, was a mistake. And now, yeah, it's automatically dies. At least, I mean, he's checking his destiny. He's got another Monarch. Wow. I guess, well, did he retrieve? I mean, I think he might have retrieved one, but I don't think he's playing 3. So yeah, that I think was a mistake. If you're gonna lose one, just lose one. Don't use the force. Maybe he just forgot and didn't realize also Gunite. I don't know. Yeah, if he stays, so Torch probably has another Neighborns in his hand. We know the destinies at the bottom, right? Was 4 something 5 something, and in which case, I think Jeff just gets deleted, or the Efontmon gets deleted. Goo, I thought he was ability 2. Oh yeah, so he misread that. He is ability what, 3? Yeah, 3. But even then, I mean, whatever guy you deploy there is dead anyways. So Jeff's, I think, in a little bit of trouble here. Loses Overload from hand. Nasty card if you're able to track well. And can track a 0. Losing a None Shall Pass. Not as important when you have all the guys that are already at the audience chamber. Yeah, Court versus Prophet. Well, not Prophet, but Mantilian Savret. That's an interesting one. Okay, this is like old school card. Don't see too often in these later formats. Yeah, Throne Remains. Yeah, once Lightside gets established here, Neighborns leads for 6. Okay, I think he's just trying to end the game here. Because he knows where... I don't remember, did he use anything last turn? Oh no, it takes the court ping. So you can actually, as a aside for people, you can actually wait till your battle phase action, and then, or you can go to your battle phase, then Neighborn leads in your battle phase. You just can't Neighborn in battle. So this is an very interesting a little risky, I think. Oh, I guess he does have Draw Their Fire, so he can't play any tricks. But if these hit... Oh, but he has Mantilian Savret. Okay, that makes sense. The 5. And remember, I think the 4th card is a 4... 6, so yeah, definitely kills IG-88. So this, I believe, is the 4. Yeah, a bit risky with IG-88. So you lose Twaska. So by drawing the 4, he's going to have to lose Boba Fett. And then Jodo Cast needs to battle, but presumably he's not going to be, it's going to be too risky. So, although he has to lose the battle. Oh, he could lose the battle with... Now he's probably going to lose the battle, right? So you can use Savrip or just lose Luke, as long as he doesn't get hit. Yeah, I don't know. That's a little risky to me. I would have maybe done it in my control phase, because I remember he had Sorry About the Mess. If this hits, That could be very annoying. And there's a hit. I mean, he could just revive him, I guess. Yeah, I guess he just revives him, so it doesn't matter. And he's going to draw 4. He's going to lose Boba Fett. Oh no, I guess he could lose Johto Cast. So there's the 4. So the deck now is something 5. There's a 5. Okay, so now he can Savrip, which I'm assuming he does. 5 and a 5. So he's got to lose 2 from Savrip. He does retrieve. And he's going to Savrip Tantive. And does he have another guy? If he doesn't have another guy, that's bad. Oh, he does have another guy. Okay. And Solo. Okay, so now Jeff is still in some trouble here because now he's facing Ben and Luke. Of course, Jeff knows where these double 5s are. Torch always has another guy. So Luke dies, but he's going to get revived by Ben. And now he's facing Boba Fett. With order to engage turned on right now. Yeah, still, I don't know. I mean, I might have not done that personally because he's not doing damage. He can't move over to the Sarlacc. He can't move over to you. If he moves over to you, you're sorry about the mess, his guys, and then you beat down on your terms, and you trigger, draw their fire, etc. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that was okay. I think it was risky though. I think it was very risky. Okay, so Jeff playing some space, seeing that, hey, I need to do damage or I'm in trouble, and so he's going to deploy one of his ships. He does shuffle his deck, so he loses track of those double 5s, but with doing no damage, I think he has to do this. So we're going to be draining for 2. And takes the Court Ping. So Jeff taking 3 damage and doing 2 damage to Paul. And the life force is 30 to 23. So Jeff still needs to do something here. Alright, drains for 2. Loses jobs through with you and security precautions. Yeah, a lot of 5s, a lot of high destinies in this court deck. Make battling be kind of scary, as we've seen. So this Boba Fett, yeah, Boba Fett's in a tough spot here. You know, he moves over, he gets deleted, moves over, he gets eaten. Just like the movies, right? And Torch drawing up. Not fearing Monarch or not caring, one or the other. Yeah. Jet over to the hut. Yeah, unfortunately he's not land speed 2. That's true, he came back. He didn't actually die. He was just missing, if you will. Yeah, so Jeff is going to be doing 2 damage here, but it's not enough. He's got to do something else. 2 Obi-Wan's huts from hand. Sure, you don't need that anymore. You're running 3. Interesting. And, of course, we still have an active beggar. So that's always fun. And Jeff taking from the court ping. So Jeff's, I think, in trouble here. Loss. Okay. Yeah, I think Jeff's a little bit in trouble here. He needs to piece together a hand to contest this. And one of the best ways to contest that is Forlom and IG88. Of course, Mantillion Savret. No, Mantillion Savret won't do it because he could lose the battle still. Monarch use. Okay. Wonder how many Monarchs Jeff's playing. That's kind of a... I think it's more than 2. I don't know. Honestly, that it might be in Torch's favor here. He's in such a lead. He doesn't have ways to put cards back, and so that might actually just have helped him. Special edition Boba Fett. Yeah, but nobody who plays that. This guy I think is pretty good for this format. Of course, I think the coolest looking one is Cloud City. Oh yeah? Well, yeah, that's just fun to play. Okay, so DRTORCH activating 1 gets omniboxed immediately. Shuffling everything up and stacking a 5. But I think you just keep draining. Just drain for 2. Jeff takes, Jeff has no force to work with either. And he's got Gunite out. So anybody who's of consequence is going to be too expensive to put down in battle. Sorry, there's fireworks randomly going off. Yeah, CC1, of course, is the coolest. So a large amount of fireworks going off in my... I'm going to have to go outside and yell at some people potentially, but... So we see Twi'lek from hand, None Shall Pass from hand. Yeah, I think... Jeff has to do something here. The question is, what can he do? And Torch just draws. Yeah, I don't know. The thing that he could do, if he had the cards and whatnot, is, everything tracked. Ellis over, Sniper, Ben, drop a guy, maybe with ability 1, battle Luke, and you can clear the site somehow. Yeah, it's unlikely that he has anything to do here, that he can do. Yeah, exactly. Torch doesn't need to activate. He just drains. He has 15 cards in hand. This, I think, is the Monarch. I think. The top card of his force pile now. Loses Landing Claw. And then at some point, too, he can just... trigger order to engage? I don't know. I don't even know if you really want to do that either. Because then he gets draw their fire swing. He's going to take a damage on his next turn. Yeah, Court is, I think, not favored against Throne Room mains in general, because Sense and Alter can be so crippling. And once you get in the situation where Lightside has the Throne Room, which can happen with the big force activation that it gets, it's hard to break. It's very hard to break. And although the Sarlacc was a cute play, it, I think, backfired. And I don't get this either. Oh, did he... No, he didn't do it from court. I don't understand this. This, I think, was a wasted force. So he takes another court ping. Leaves 2 for Beggar, I guess. Yeah, Court can be fun. It can be one of the faster decks because it has the ping. You can pull guys from the audience chamber. Control to stop the drain. That's good. And he senses the control. Okay. 4. Yep, I think that's the play. So now it's a force loss of 3. And yeah, this is over. This is Marjay's lightsaber from hand. Yeah, sensing control to stop the drain cancel is definitely good in some situations. I'll say not all situations because I can think of a couple that it wouldn't be the play. And Torch just recirculates with 2 on top, which is a 4 and a 3. And Jeff just activates all of them. So I don't know what... maybe. I don't know. Grabbing control... I guess it depends on the deck. So Torch losing an Abrams and an Oromarco. EPP Vader? Can Vader survive the Sarlacc? Potentially. So I guess the move here is come over to Obi-Wan's hut. But it's still not enough. He's doing now 5. 2. Maybe. Yeah, so losing Oromarco maybe was a little... So Vader lives. Now he can move. Oh, he can't move over though. But at least he's not going to take from the ping. But of course he can just die to battle, I guess. Yep, no force to move. Blaster controls from hand, Boello from reserve deck. So what does he do now? Uh-oh. So here comes Falcon. Does he have a Milos? Okay, you're... Oh, he does have Milos. Okay. So I think you just battle here. Get the draw their fire swing, get Oromarco back. 1 battle destiny. Maybe he knows what it is, I don't know. Loses a tentacle off the top. This is not immune to attrition. And if it's a 6, he clears the site. Or the system. And it's the 4. So he's going to lose... I guess you probably lose Dengar, and then you can attack back with Zuckuss. Ah, there's the 5. Probably gonna, he's going to Savrip though. He could Savrip. Because Darkseid won. No, I don't know. I think it's going to shut his damage down. And he got Draw Their Fire. So one thing to remember is Red 5 is on such little force. So when you're in such a big lead like this, Draw Their Fire is huge. Okay? It's like saying, I'm going to use 3 force or lose 3 force so that I retrieve 1 and you lose 1. Think about that. And look at it's at 22 force to 9, right? And Jeff's in a position where every single force is crippling. Every force loss is crippling. Where Torch can use that, can afford to do that. And he also got Oromarco back, which means he can kill Vader. So Torch knows where Oromarco is. He can draw him next turn and come down and battle again. If he wants to. Loses barrier from hand. Yeah, I think one thing that I notice is top level players, it's all, how do I say this? Every little bit matters. You know, if I'm on a surprise assault for 1 or for 2, it matters. And, you know, that can be the difference in a lot of games. Yeah, you know, when I met Jeff, I didn't know. I thought it was Red V as well for the longest time, and then I realized, like, oh yeah, it's Red 5. Free Saga. Garvik, what's up, man? Unbanned Saga. Did Saga get banned? Was he buying gold? You guys still playing WoW? Oh no. He got banned. He had all the gear too. Alright, so I see Force Drain. Oh yeah, well, you gotta do it. You gotta buy gold. I bought gold. I won't be ashamed to admit it. So Force Drain of 2 coming, losing Barrier and Monarch from Force Pile. And yeah, Jeff, I think, in big trouble still. Although, let's see, so drain of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But he's taking 1, 2, 3 a turn. So 1, 2, yeah. And Torch, yep. So I think he knows what this bottom card is. You just battle and first strike. Get the first strike swing. He's going to lose Vader to save the drain. He's going to start taking more pings. Oh, you guys are going to play retail? Wizard Attack Gamer. Oh, was that? Oh, shoot. Let me unban Wizard Attack Gamer. Uh-oh. Shoot. Tell Saga I'm sorry then. I banned him. How do I unban? I don't know how to unban. And Sense coming for Battle Destiny. And what does Paul draw? Yeah, I don't know how to unban. I'm going to have to unban him. And the 5. It did look like spam. So again, Torch is going to lose 2 here, or though he's going to retrieve 1. And so, again, this is a net, I think, force loss for Dr. Torch, but it saves the drain, and it further hurts Jeff because of Draw Their Fire. Right, so Torch had to use Tawaz Ka, loses battle damage, but saves himself a drain of 3 and causes 1 damage to Red 5. And then he retrieved 1, or 2, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to have to tell Garvik, tell Saga I'm sorry. I will unban him when I figure out how to do that. I have no idea how to do that. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's possible that people make mistakes, and maybe, you know, Torch might have done something that Jeff could have capitalized on when he had more force, obviously, but at this point, I don't think he even has enough force to do that, to capitalize on anything that he might do. So out of commission coming, why not? He's going to drain for 2, take 1, and then Torch drains for 2, leaving him with 3 force, and then same thing happens again. So yeah, I think this is all but over, essentially. Yeah, well, you know, especially in high stakes games like this, where, you know, it's the finals, I think I rarely see people concede this early. Yeah, he took the audience chamber, but he could have come back. Honestly, if he drew the right cards, had the right destinies tracked, you can come back from a situation like that. It is tough. Of course, knowing your deck, there can be situations where you could be like, I literally have no outs. Of course, he could make a mistake again. Torch goes to alter his own Savrip. Why not, I guess? Just to put cards back. Maybe Oromarco comes down now. And now the only thing that would help would be a few spies. Yeah, so something like a spy, for example, right? If let's say he drops U3PO here, that could swing the game, Of course, you got to know what's in your deck. So if you're not running something like that, and you have no outs. But I think there is benefit in playing it out, especially, again, at these higher levels, because I think you learn so much. Especially when the force comes down to such few cards, you really start to see how players will track the cards, manipulate the deck, make ultra efficient use of force. Deploy to farm or throne room. Maybe. But think about it, right? If you deploy a undercover spy to the throne room or to the audience chamber, you shut down his damage. And then you can come down to, say, the farm. And unless he has another, I guess he has Nabrin's lead still probably. And lightsaber proficiency, so this is a drain of 3 now. Again, at this point, just watching how it's going to end here. Blaster proficiency. Yeah, Neighbors is being covered. Yeah, I mean, going to the farm is a good idea too. Get the drain of 2. Of course, Neighbors in this is always now a danger. Lobo was definitely a good option against Neighboring leads. And a good solution. And I think, honestly, I don't know, the Sarlacc, I think, might have been one of the more crippling things. Like, again, I think it was a cool play. Unfortunately, I didn't think it ate anybody except Efont Man and now Boba Fett. But that, I think, actually put Jeff against a wall because now he couldn't move over. And Sarlacc now going to draw Destiny. I think anything kills Boba Fett. Boba Fett's defeated. So we did see Sarlacc eat Boba Fett, just like the movies. I consider that a victory. And Torch echoes what I just said. For once it actually happened like the movies. GG getting called from Jeff. And it was a good game for both players. I think Jeff put off a great fight. With the Lobo, with the None Shall Pass, and the surprise Sarlacc that could have been devastating. But Dr. Torch pulls it off in the end and ends up winning the Premier to Endor League. So Dr. Torch Paul going first place, Jeff going second place. Congratulations to both players. Excellent games in this event. And yes, thank you everyone for watching. Let's see what else. Yeah. So upcoming, I think in a week, is the premiere to Death Star. Did I hear about Teacher's premiere to New Hope where he blew away the Death Star? And premiere to New Hope? No, I did not. That is very surprising. I didn't even know you could do that in Premiere to a New Hope. I guess you can with Attack Run. Is that came out in the New Hope? Is that right? Yeah. GG's. So again, in a week is Premier to Death Star, the next format, which I'm very excited for. There's still time to sign up if you guys want on the GIMP website and the forums. Just feel free to reach out to anybody, anywhere, and they'll be able to point you to the right place on where to sign up. GG's again for multiplayers. Yep. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on again. Bye.